Hello, welcome to Redheads. This, of course, a new quiz show here on MUTV. This is the second episode, and over the next few months we'll be testing some of the most knowledgeable United fans around. In this first series, 24 contestants have been chosen to battle it out for the Redheads crown, the fans' version of the Premiership title. 24 contestants to start with. 3 contestants compete in each episode. The winner of each episode instantly qualifies. But every point you score will count, because at the end of first qualification, the 3 highest runners-up scores will compete for an additional place in the next round. Second round of qualification will see us whittle 9 contestants down to our grand final, where 3 contestants will compete for the crown. So our next 3 contestants, they were laughing when I said the most knowledgeable United fans, but hey, come on, you're going to give it a go, aren't you? We've got Dennis Breen from Cheadle, we've got Martin Berger from Brighton, and we've got Steve Wood from Leigh. Gentlemen, thanks very much. I tell you what, I'm glad I'm sitting here, because this is pretty tough. Now, Dennis, first up, Dennis, is that with 1 N or 2?
It's just the 1 N in Dennis.
Just the one. I wonder why that is.
My dad's hero was the king of the Stretford N.
Mr. Dennis Law.
One, yeah.
Well, it's a good name to be proud of. You can be with the player that he was.
Oh yeah, great player.
The legend still.
So he tells me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you can see the videos as well, I tell you. You must get them out. OK, great stuff. Good to have you here. Martin, from Brighton, but how long have you been a United fan?
Since 57.
1957.
I was at boarding school, and I was some of the guys said, if you want to get out the cold, you can come in the headmaster's office and watch the cup final, and that's how it started.
Oh, brilliant. And that was, of course, give us a reminder.
Aston Villa lost 2-1, and Ray Wood got injured in the 6th minute.
Oh, right. But that was you becoming a Red.
That was, and then of course Munich happened the following year, and that was really, I was one of many millions who got entrenched with the Reds at that point.
OK, great stuff, Martin. Steve, now, you see United quite often, don't you?
Once or twice, yeah. Once or twice.
Just tell us how much.
Well, I've missed 1 home game since '84, which was just before Christmas, the Chelsea League Cup.
Since '84?
Since '84, I've missed 1 home game at Old Trafford, yeah.
How on earth do you do that?
I don't know. I think.
I take it you enjoy it, but it's paid off, certainly in the 90s,
exactly,
isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
OK,
yeah.
Great stuff. Right, I hope you're ready. Now, no better place to start than round 1. Right, this is 2 minutes of general knowledge questions covering the whole of United's history. This is not for the faint-hearted. And Dennis, I'm afraid you're up first. So, as I said, 2 minutes, and your 2 minutes start now. In what game did Jaap Stam make his sole substitute appearance for United during the 98-99 season?
Pass.
It was in the cup final. Stam deflected a shot past Schmeichel from which Arsenal player in the 1999 FA Cup semi-final? Dennis Bergkamp, well done. He was to suffer the same fate in that season's Champions League semi-final in Turin after an effort from which Juventus player looped into the net?
Inzaghi.
Well done. Name the first United player to score in a League Cup and FA Cup final in the same season?
Norman Whiteside.
Well done. Against which club did Gary Bailey save 2 penalties but still saw the Reds lose the game 6-0 in March?
Ipswich Town.
Ipswich Town it was. Who finished the 1986-87 season as United's leading marksman?
Mark Hughes.
No, Peter Davenport. Giggs scored a dramatic late equaliser for United in the first leg of the 1999 Champions League semi-final, but who had originally given the Italians a first-half lead?
Conte.
Well done. Who did David McCreary come on for in the FA Cup finals of 1976 and 77?
Gordon Hill.
Well done. Which team knocked the Reds out of the European Cup Winners' Cup in the 77-78 campaign, even though United beat them 5-2 in the home leg?
Belgrade.
No, it was Porto. Who made just one 45-minute appearance for United against Bournemouth in the League Cup back in 1982?
Peter Beard.
Yes, it was. Who gave Newcastle the lead against the Reds with a superb free kick at St James's Park in March 1999?
Solano.
Yes, it was indeed. Whose volley sealed United's 3-0 victory at the Dell in October 1998?
Jordi Cruyff.
Jordi Cruyff it was. Who made his only appearance for United in their League Cup second round, second leg meeting away to Cambridge in 1991?
He's what, sorry?
Who made his only appearance for United?
Ian Wilkinson.
Ian Wilkinson, yes it was. In what position was Beckham deployed for the 1999 Stade finished Champions League final?
That's Central midfield.
It was indeed. That's a stormy round. Well done. Named after Dennis Law, a legend on the quiz as well. Dennis, well done. You've scored 11 points.
Cheers.
Okay, so a terrific start. And Martin, you're next up, and your 2 minutes, best of luck, starts now. Why was Nicky Butt sent off against Barcelona in September 1998?
Pass.
He handled on the line. When United hammered Anderlecht 10-0 in the European Cup, who scored 4 times for the Reds?
Dennis Violet.
Well done. Steve McLaren joined United during the treble-winning season, but which club did he leave?
Derby County.
Yes, it was. Which club did Danny Higginbottom spend the 98-99 season out on loan to?
Was it Royal Anderlecht?
Royal Antwerp it was, I'm afraid. Where in the table did United finish in Alex Ferguson's first full season in charge?
14th.
No, second. Which club did George Best make his United debut against?
Chelsea.
No, it was West Brom. Who scored on his senior debut for United in the League Cup win over Portsmouth in September 1989?
Norman Whiteside.
No, it was Danny Wallace. What was the first trophy that Sir Matt Busby won when he became boss at United?
The FA Cup.
Yes, it was, 1948. To try and get regular first-team football, which team did Jordi Cruyff go out on loan to in January 1999?
Southampton.
No, it was Celta Vigo. What name did the press coin for the group of young players that Ferguson blooded early in his reign?
Fergie's Fledglings.
Yes, it was. Name the Irish international that left United and joined Norwich in March 1999.
Pass.
It was Phil Mulrine. Coventry have only ever defeated United once in the Premiership. When was that?
Pass.
December 97. Who did United begin their defence of the European Cup against in the 68-69 season?
Pass.
Waterford. Name the player that started as David May's centre-back partner in the 1999 FA Cup final.
Ronnie Johnson.
Ronnie Johnson, well done. Against which club did the legendary Duncan Edwards make his league debut for United?
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
No, it was Cardiff. What was the number on the open-top bus, start-stop finish, in which United displayed their treble trophies through Manchester in May 1999?
At a guess, 3.
No, hard luck, it was 2-1. Okay, and after that, Martin, you've scored 5 points. So everyone's off the mark except for Steve. It's your turn now, mate. 2 minutes. Let's see what you know. Who were England playing when Paul Scholes hit a hat-trick at Wembley in March 99?
Poland.
Yes. Who did Arsenal lose to in their penultimate game of the 98-99 Premiership season to put the title in United's hands?
Coventry.
That was Leeds, 1-0. United beat Arsenal 4-0 in March 1984, helped by a double strike from which Dutchman?
Arnold Muren.
Yes. Who was the referee that dismissed Roy Keane in the 1999 FA Cup semi-final?
Mr. Ellery.
It was indeed. United reached the FA Cup 5th round in 1988, and at 2-1 were awarded a penalty. Who were they playing?
Arsenal.
Yes, they were. Who missed that vital spot kick?
Brian
The Reds?
McClare.
He did. Who was the versatile United star that received his marching orders in the 3-3 draw with Liverpool in April 1988?
Colin Gibson.
Yes. Against which team did Fergie register his first win as United boss?
QPR.
It was. Blomqvist played for 2 Italian clubs before he came to United. One was Parma, the other?
AC Milan.
Yes. In all competitions during the 98-99 season, including the Charity Shield, how many games did United lose? Take a guess.
4.
No, it was 5, hard luck. Who became United's record signing in October 1980?
Joe Jordan.
Gary Birtles. How many goals did Dwight York score in the treble-winning season?
24.
29. Gary Walsh achieved it in the 1994 FA Cup run, and Raymond van der Houw emulated it in the 1999 FA Cup run. What was it?
Never even played a game but won a medal.
Won a medal as an unused substitute. In what year were United second division champions for the last time?
75.
75 it was. What did the 1979 FA Cup final become famous for?
Well,
As known as?
oh, don't know. The 5-minute final.
5-minute final, you got it. What unwanted record did Paul Scholes achieve while playing for England on the 5th of June 1999 at Wembley?
Was the first England player to be sent off at Wembley.
He was indeed. Well done to you, Steve. And after that round, you've got 12 points. Let's look at all the scores. Dennis, you're on 11, Martin on 5, and Steve, as I said, on 12. OK, that's it for part one. But just before we go to a break, here's a teaser for you watching at home. In which country did Ian Wright score 2 goals against United in a pre-season friendly? See you in a couple of minutes.
This Wednesday night, an MUTV exclusive. David Beckham speaks to MUTV from his hotel in Madrid. Beckham's given MUTV special access to conduct this farewell interview, allowing him to speak directly to the fans. It's an opportunity for the world to hear the facts from the man himself. MUTV is the only UK TV channel to show this exclusive interview. Beckham exclusive. Farewell to the fans. Tonight at 6, 8 and 10, only on MUTV.
Welcome back to Redheads. Did you get our little teaser? In which country did Ian Wright score 2 goals against United in a pre-season friendly? It was South Africa. Now, on with the show. Let's check up on the scores. Dennis is on 11, Martin on 5, and Steve just out in front at the moment on 12 points. Now, this is round 2. It's the video round. 3 pieces of action per contestant with 5 questions on each one. And Dennis, you once again are up first, and this is your first clip. Watch closely. OK, your questions. Whose cross into the area presents Ruud van Nistelrooy with an unmissable chance?
Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs it was. Who was the goalkeeper who is left in the back of the net?
Dean Kiley.
Yes, it was. Name the ground where the match took place.
The Valley.
It was. After beating Charlton 3-1, who did United face in their next match? The very next match. Have to hurry you. Take a guess.
City.
No, it was in Europe, Olympiacos. Against which team did Ruud van Nistelrooy score his final goal of the 2001-2002 season for United? Against who?
Leverkusen.
No, it was Ipswich. All right, time for clip 2. Here it is. Okay, here we go. In the second clip, who do we see scoring against Spurs?
Brian McClair.
Yeah, McClair's goal comes courtesy of a great cross from his strike partner, who was?
Mark Hughes.
Mark Hughes. The movie started by a run from which former United star wearing the number 8 shirt?
Gordon Strachan.
Gordon Strachan. In which season did this match take place?
88-89.
Yep, spot on. Strachan's final appearance in a United shirt came against which club in March 1989? Take a guess.
Everton.
No, it was Forest. OK, clip number 3, here it is. OK, who's the City number 3 who can't cope with the pace of Andrei Kanchelskis?
Is it Richard Edgell?
No, Terry Phelan. Kanchelskis goes all the way himself, but which colleague is wearing the number 10 shirt?
Mark Hughes.
Mark Hughes it was. Name the Man City goalkeeper who's made over 300 appearances for Sheffield United but was on loan to the Blues for this game.
Simon Tracy.
Yes, it was. What was the final score?
5-0.
5-0 it was. After Andrei Kanchelskis moved to Everton, he didn't stay too long before he was on his travels joining which Italian club?
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina it was. Well done to you. So after all your clips, Dennis, you are on 22 points. OK, Martin, you've seen how it's done. Let's see how you do. This is clip number 1. OK, your questions, Martin. Which Newcastle player does Cole pressurise into a mistake which leaves him on the ground?
Warren Barton.
No, it was Dabizaz. Although he ran back with Cole, name the former Wimbledon defender unable to put in a challenge.
Warren Barton.
Warren Barton. Name the Northern Ireland keeper who will want to forget this match.
Danny Givens.
No, Tommy Wright. After beating Newcastle, who did the Reds meet in their next match?
Arsenal?
No, it was Liverpool. Against which team in November 1997 did Cole score United's first European hat-trick in over 25 years?
I should know that, and I don't.
It was Feyenoord. Hard luck. OK, clip number 2. OK, your 5 questions on that one. Whose long pass upfield is initially cleared by the Arsenal defence?
Pass.
It was Steve Bruce. However, the ball drops to which player who volleys it into the net?
Brian Robson?
No, Neil Webb. And who is the Gunners' keeper who's given no chance?
Davy Seaman?
No, John Lukic. In what season did it take place, this game?
1986.
No, 89-90. Neil Webb only scored 1 European goal for United. Who did this come against?
Inter Milan.
No, it was Pashirmunkas of Hungary.
Right.
This is clip number 3 for you now. OK, name the former Liverpool and England number 5 unable to stop Giggsy's scoring.
Pass.
Mark Wright. Who's the goalkeeper that could only stand and watch?
Again, pass.
Bruce Grobbelaar, who also saw Giggs having the beating of Wright's defensive colleague, who would, though, score later in this match. Name him. Come on. Take a guess.
Neil Ruddock.
Well done, it was. What was the final score in the game?
2-2.
No, it was 3-all.
Oh.
So close. And finally, on his first senior Wembley outing for United, Giggs laid on the only goal of the game for who?
Eric Cantona?
No, it was Brian McClare. Hard luck. Martin, you've got 7 points so far. OK, next up, it's Steve. Your first clip, here it is. Watch carefully. OK, who plays the ball into the path of Nicky Butt?
Phil Neville.
It was. Butt's shot leaves the keeper diving at thin air. Who was he?
Oh. Nigel Martin.
No, Paul Robinson.
Yeah.
I think you knew. Name the United striker wearing the number 10 shirt who makes a run to Butt's left.
Teddy Sheringham.
Yes. After beating Leeds, who did United meet in their next game?
Liverpool.
No, League Cup, Spurs.
Spurs.
Phil Neville made his United senior debut in an FA Cup tie in January 1995. Who were the opposition?
Wrexham.
Yes, well done. This is clip number 2. OK, Ryan Giggs puts in a cross, but which United player is on the receiving end?
Mark Hughes.
Yep, in case Hughes fails to make proper contact, who's the United number 11 ready to pounce?
Michelskis.
Yes. Name the Crystal Palace keeper who's left with little chance.
I'm going to go with Nigel Martin.
Yes, in which season did this game take place?
91-92.
Was indeed. When Sparky left United, he ended up at Chelsea, but who signed him?
Ruud Gullit.
No, it was Glenn Hoddle. It's clip number 3 for you now. OK, Lee Sharp scored. Who did he take the ball off, though?
Nicole.
Yes. Cole received the ball from which United youngster?
Oh, David Beckham.
No, Paul Scholes. Who's the Blues keeper left standing?
I'm going to have to guess at Southall. No, it's not. But
It is
Was
indeed
it?
Southall.
Oh, right.
What was the final score?
3-2.
Spot on.
Yeah.
In his time at Old Trafford, how many Premiership medals did Lee Sharp win?
Lee Sharp win 1 medals.
Can I-
3.
Yes, it was. I thought you were going to say 4.
I
but you
was.
changed it.
I'll just change my mind.
Well done. So, Steve, now you've got 23 points. So let's just go through all the scores. Dennis on 22, Martin on 7, and Steve on 23. OK, here we go. It's now time for round 3. said it was tough. It gets tougher because the contestants now go head-to-head. 3 minutes of questions. The first one to buzz in gets to answer. Just at this stage, Dennis, Martin and Steve, it is tough, but you're doing very well, Dennis. And Martin, hey, you know, you're not just making up the numbers, especially in this round as well, because this, as I said, it's a real head-to-head. And Steve, you're just the one ahead of Dennis, so it's very close. And as I said, keep going, because the best runners-up at the end of all our rounds will go through as well. The 3 minutes start now. Who was the Nottingham Forest manager who witnessed United's blast 8 goals past his team? Steve?
Ron Atkinson.
Ron Atkinson it was. On the 5th of December 1998, who were the team that were riding high on top of the Premiership that faced United in a game which ended 1-1? Dennis?
Chelsea.
No, it was Aston Villa. Who scored United's goal in that game? Dennis?
Paul Scholes.
Yes, it was. Well done. Which side knocked United out of the FA Cup at the 5th round stage after a replay in February 98? Steve?
Barnsley.
Barnsley it was. Who became Ferguson's first United signing? Dennis?
Brian McClare.
No, it was Viv Anderson. Which club did Mark Robins join after leaving Old Trafford in August?
Norwich
Martin?
City.
It was indeed. Well done. United were dismissed at the first stage of the UEFA Cup in 95-96 by which team? Dennis?
Torpedo Moscow.
No, Rotor Volgograd. United played Claudio Ranieri's former club in the Champions League. Steve?
Valencia.
Valencia it was. Who was the United star who came off the bench and scored United's first goal in their 2-2 draw with Leicester on the opening day of the 98? Steve?
Teddy Sheringham.
Teddy Sheringham. And in that same game, who was making his United League debut? Dennis?
Capstan.
Well done. Who were the team that ensured United became the first club from the top division to be knocked out of the FA Cup in a penalty shootout in 92? Steve?
Southampton.
Yes, it was. Who was the Irish defender that went on to play over 90 times for United after joining the club from Luton? Martin?
I was going to say Dennis Irwin, I'm wrong.
No, it was Mal Donaghy. From which club did Ron Atkinson sign Terry Gibson in January 1986? Dennis?
Wimbledon.
No, it was Coventry. Who won his first cap for Wales in 1985 after making Martin?
Ryan Giggs.
No, Clayton Blackmore. An expensive Scottish international striker failed to make the grade at Old Trafford after he signed in June 1984. Name him. Steve?
Alan Brazil.
Yes, it was. Who were the hosts in May 1988 when United attracted less than 9,000 fans, which was their lowest league gate since the Second World War? Steve?
Wimbledon.
No, Oxford. Name the only non-goalkeeping post-war footballer to have 2 spells as a Red Devil. Steve?
Mark Hughes.
Yes, it was. When Russell Beardsmore left Old Trafford in June 1993, which club did he choose to join? Steve?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth it was. Who was the Scottish defender signed from Aberdeen in 1972, who would then go on to become a hero? Steve?
Martin Buchan.
It was indeed. What was the occasion of Mark Hughes' last senior outing in a United shirt? Dennis?
95 Cup final.
Well done. Which club did Fergie sign Ralph Milne from? Steve?
Bristol City.
It was. Name the Scottish fullback who made over 400 appearances for United from 1974. Steve?
Arthur Albiston.
Arthur Albiston. Against which club did he make his FA Cup debut? Steve?
Liverpool.
Yes, FA Cup final 77. When Sir Matt was manager, who became the first footballer for which he broke the British transfer record? Martin?
Tommy Taylor.
No, Albert Quicksall, £45,000. Your time is up, and these are how the scores look. Dennis on 25, Martin on 8, and Steve on 35. So as you can see, Steve is our winner. Congratulations to you. A whopping total there. Commiserations to Dennis and Martin. Gave it a good go there, Dennis, but you're up against something there, weren't you?
Too quick for me.
And Martin, I guess when you've got some knowledge around like Dennis and Steve, there's not a lot you can do, is
Not
there?
anything.
Okay, you enjoyed it?
I did indeed.
Thanks very much
really
for coming on the show. And Steve,
you.
of course, we'll see you
Yeah.
in the next round. And keep watching, Dennis, because with a score like that, you could have a chance to actually join
Sure.
Steve in that next round.
Sure.
Gentlemen, thanks very much indeed for being on Redheads. That's it. We're going to see you next time. Bye for now. Coming up next, a world exclusive. David Beckham interviewed in Madrid by Steve Bauer, only for MUTV.